The police shooting in LABORIE has sparked concerns among residents who allege excessive force. One man was hospitalized following the incident, which is currently under investigation. Deputy Commissioner of Police Wayne Shalry emphasized that firearms should only be used as a last resort in the defense of life and property. He spoke at a recent police force press conference. He also stressed that officers should first attempt to de-escalate situations using non-violent means such as verbal commands before resorting to physical force.
In the graduation of use of force, it is the last resort. Our use of force begins with our presence as police officers, our voice, of course, our hands in terms of searching, preventing, engaging, and in between there would be other uses of force, non-lethal force, but ultimately the most lethal force would be the use of a firearm when in defense of life or protection of life and or property.
Police Commissioner Gard outlined the use of force continuum, explaining the general levels of force in order of severity: officer presence, verbal commands, soft and hard controls, intermediate weapons, and lethal force.
Where force should always be prescribed at the bare minimum. And as the situation may warrant, there's the continuum of that level of force throughout the conduct of that offense. So if, for example, as Mr. Shalry explained, the mere calling of somebody's name is enough to de-escalate a matter, then of course the continuum of force would be satisfied. But again, if there's need for force to be increased incrementally, then you would go for that continuum up until the point where it may necessitate utilizing lethal force in the use, for example, of a lethal weapon like a firearm.
Reporters and senior law enforcement officials debated the use of force when a suspect flees or attempts to resist arrest or evade capture.
Yeah, so the circumstances would dictate the course of action. So if you have a specific scenario, then you need to give us a little more detail because, of course, police officers being from the community and are human beings, like everybody else, may make mistakes. So if you are a bit more specific, then I can answer to your specifics. Well, you cannot generalize this thing because somebody may be running away and running to commit some crime, or having committed a crime, they're running. So being very general, then I can be very general with my answers to you as well.
The National Institute of Justice website states there's no single, universally agreed upon definition of use of force for law enforcement officers. However, controversial incidents of excessive force have raised concerns about the legality and accountability of police actions, as they often fail to adhere to necessity and proportionality principles. LABORIE residents have called on police to follow proper procedures to ensure safety and prevent future harm. Gino Filipi, HDS News Force.